So applicability, again, geography wise, yes, it is applicable across India, and for the establishments, it applies to every factory, and it applies to all the establishments in which 20 or more persons are employed on any day during the accounting year, right? So it is 20 or more in general, but some of the state governments exercising their powers, they have reduced the number of employees for its applicability to 10, particularly if I'm right, Tamil Nadu it is 10, in Maharashtra it is 10, right? There could be some other states also, but in general, the central law says 20 or more, but the state governments have got powers to reduce the threshold limit. Some of the states have done that. Right? When we say establishment, again, it is not just one unit or the corporate office or the registered office. It also includes all the branches, all the units belonging to that company. So that is the third point here. And maybe for the purposes of bonus, we can even say those units which have common balance sheet. Right, then I think those units can be clubbed and considered as one single establishment. Right, so in those units totally put together, if the number goes beyond 20 or beyond 10, then the act will become applicable to that establishment. That is how this is to be looked at. But of course, when we say the common balance sheet, yes, your companies even can have separate balance sheet for their branches, right? But that should be genuine, right? If it is to avoid the applicability of the act, then definitely the courts of law have powers to lift the wheel and ascertain the fact, right? So that may not be possible. Generally, because sometimes what will happen in a factory, there could be 2 or 3 products, right? Suddenly, one product making unit could be separated from the main factory. So that could become a separate factory, separate establishment. That is possible. Something like that. Some genuineness must be there. And infancy period for the first 5 accounting years, following the year in which the operations of the establishment are commenced. The company, the management need not pay bonus. So again, I repeat, for the first 5 accounting years following the year in which the operations were commenced, right? I've given the example. Assume that a company is commencing its operations in 2020-2021, that is current fiscal accounting year, right? So leaving this fiscal year, starting from April 2021, right? So 2021-2022 will be the first financial year up to 2025-2026. So for the 5 financial years, starting from April 2021 to March 2026, for those 5 years, the company need not pay bonus, provided the company does not earn profit in any of these years, right? In case if the company has earned a profit during any of these years, then the company should pay bonus for that year alone, right? Assume that the quantum fall, maybe the rate of bonus falls between 8.33 and 20 because of the allocable surplus available at that time. Then that is fine. If it is more than allocable surplus, then it need not set on the excess amount for the next year, because otherwise, when the company is out of the infancy period, they have to necessarily set on for the next financial year, right? But in case of when the company is in infancy period, they need not do that. That is the point here. So 5 years the company has infancy period for not paying bonus in case if the company does not earn profit. But if it earns profit in any of the accounting years, then for that accounting year alone, the management, the company is supposed to pay bonus to the employees. I'll move on. So who is an employee? Again, any person other than an apprentice, right? So any person employed on salary or wage not exceeding rupees 21,000 per month. So if the monthly salary of the individual employee, if it is not going beyond 21,000, again, when we say salary, it normally refers to basic and DA, right? So if it does not go beyond 21,000, then all those persons are eligible for payment of bonus in that accounting year, provided, of course, the eligibility condition is they must have served for at least 30 days in that accounting year, right? Again, so any person employed on salary, not exceeding 21,000 in any industry, to do any skilled, unskilled, manual, supervisory, managerial, administrative, technical, clerical work. So whatever it is, whatever be the nature of work, the term employee depends upon the threshold, salary threshold, which is 21,000. Irrespective of the designation, all the employees will be entitled for bonus.